Hello friends and welcome to Getting Lippy with. My name is Imogen Hudson and here is a space where we can vent, share and chat about everything that we go through daily in the hopes of helping other people deal with their struggles. So make sure you subscribe to stay tuned with everything Getting Lippy with and grab your cuppa, biscuits, chocolate, whatever floats your boat, because whoever you are, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, let's get lippy. I'm also super buzzing that EOS are actually sponsoring this episode, which is amazing because this podcast is called Getting Lippy with and we're being sponsored by a lip balm company. It's amazing. If you haven't tried the lip balms, then you need to because they are unreal. They have the softest, smoothest shea butter, which give me the smoothest, softest lips. Who wouldn't want that? So for this episode, it's just going to be me, which I actually am really excited to be able to do because I can just get to share with you a little bit about me. We can talk and get to know each other because hopefully then you'll feel more comfortable to listen to all the other ones where we've got really exciting guests. Today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about me so that you get to know me and then hopefully we can have this big friendship over this podcast. So my name is Imogen Hudson. I'm 26. Oh, I can't believe I'm admitting my age. I think you're not meant to do that, but it's fine. I'm 26 and I am a full-time YouTuber and influencer. That feels so strange to even say. I feel so lucky to be able to say that. That's actually crazy. So, growing up, I was always a performer. I went to stage schools growing up. I was always doing acting, singing and dancing, you name it. Put me in front of it and I wanted to perform. I was always a bit of an extrovert. And I actually went to stage school in London to do my degree. I did my degree in professional dance and musical theatre. I did that in singing, dancing and acting every single day, 5 days a week, start at 8:20 and it was intense. It was amazing, but it was always something I knew I wanted to do. However, the topic I want to talk to you about today is confidence. And later on, if you stay tuned, I've actually asked a lot of you to send me in to the Hun Hotline phone so you can get your questions in and I can answer some of those questions. So make sure you stay tuned. And thanks so much for asking all the questions. So excited to answer them. But I wanted to talk to you a bit about my confidence journey because I get a lot of people ask me how I'm so confident and how I became so confident. So I feel as though I need to tell you from the start to where I am now. So, growing up, as I said, I was always a bit of an extrovert, which gives you a lot of backlash in the sense that some people can be a little bit judgmental. Some people think because you like performing and because I was loud, I was always quite loud, that I'm confident naturally. However, I was extremely sensitive. I was a very insecure child and I actually grew up to be quite an insecure teenager too, which is completely normal. Now, I feel as though I'm on a good path to my confidence journey and I feel as though if I can tell you how I've got there, then hopefully I can help you. I mean, sitting here and talking about myself is maybe a little bit, people are going to be like, you're arrogant or you're just talking about yourself, but that is the way I've become so confident in my skin because I've been able to be confident in what I'm good at. And I feel like I'm good at talking. And I also feel like I'm good at being in front of the camera and a microphone. So this is just pretty much perfect. My confidence journey began from growing up and always being targeted for being the loud one. And if the teachers would go out of the classroom, they'd come in and if they heard one voice, it was me. And they'd be like, Imogen, out. And I'd be like, no. I did dance growing up and I actually was in the Royal Ballet Associates for 4 years growing up. And this is something which is really poignant and really stayed in my brain. Throughout the process of auditioning, a lot of the girls in my dance school weren't fortunate enough to get in and they were still so talented, but I was one of the lucky ones. And I remember feeling so lucky, but my mum always said to me, Imogen, it's not luck, it's talent. And because I was so insecure, I always thought, no, it's got to be luck, it can't be talent. And I used to go to a dance school where my dance teacher was very much aware that I was the loud one. And she was very much like, oh, Imogen can handle it. Imogen will deal with it. So I remember this one time. I was lucky enough to get into the associates and it was the 3rd year running. And she went up to one of the mums in front of my mum and was like, oh, by the way, don't worry about it. So-and-so didn't get in, but Imogen only got in because of luck. And my mum was there and my mum was like, how could you say that? How could you say that about my daughter? So my mum pulled my old dance teacher aside and said, how can you say that? You should be proud and you should be telling other mums that it's okay for their daughters to not get in, but you shouldn't have to put someone else down for you to build up confidence of other people. And that's something I want to talk about later. But my mum said, you shouldn't have to do that. And the teacher said, well, I know Imogen can take it. I know that Imogen knows that she didn't get in because of luck. And my mum was like, but she doesn't. She doesn't actually know that. And my dance teacher was like, yes, she does. She's so confident. And my mum was like, well, clearly you don't know your students then, because Imogen is not confidence. It is completely fake confidence. And that leads me on to my fake confidence. I have two very extrovert parents. They are amazing. They are so incredible, and I absolutely adore them. And they genuinely, if they were here, they would love it to talk for England, because they have so many stories. But growing up, I used to fake confidence because just like every single person out there, I'm sure so many of you listening understand and can relate with this. It is so easy to put yourself down and praise other people, because we see ourselves every single day. We see the downsides of ourselves every day. We're like, oh, this is negative, this is bad. And we're so easily able to put ourselves down. But with other people, we can be like, you're amazing, you're so talented, you're so beautiful, all these other things. And growing up, I was very insecure. Maybe because I saw such a beautiful person in my mum, and I saw that she was quite insecure from her childhood. So I think that I took myself as being insecure, because I thought, how can my mum be insecure? She's so amazing. And growing up, I really, really did put myself down. I promise you, I can't even explain it to you. Walking to the shops, even at like 14, 15, growing up, I thought everyone was staring at me. Like, honestly, I'm not like a celebrity. I'm no one. Like, who's going to be looking at you, Imogen? I genuinely thought, oh my goodness, they're all going to see me without makeup. They're going to think I'm awful. They're going to think I'm ugly. Who? Like, honestly, if I look back now, and if I knew what I knew now about myself and about who I am as a person and about what I stand true to, I would never have held back from so many things growing up. And that's one thing I'm so glad to be able to talk to all of you about, because I think that we hold back from so many things just purely from the judgment of others. Like, honestly, there's so many things, auditions, there's so many things I should have done at school, there's so many things I should have done out of school that I didn't do because of the fear of being judged. And that is something which I wish I could have learned when I was 12 or 13 or 7 or 15, 16. And it's actually something I've only probably grasped in the last maybe 3, 4, 5 years. And I'll tell you a bit about how that came about. So just quickly before we begin with talking about that, I just want to say to you all that please, please, please don't not do something because you're thinking that other people will judge you. Because I promise you now, in school, you'll probably leave with 3 friends. You'll probably leave with 3 best friends, and you think you've got loads of friends around you in school, but actually growing up, you lose friends because you go on different paths and different journeys, and that's okay. But holding back from doing something that may be your talent, that may be something which will find your path in life, just because you think that Millie's going to laugh at you or Bob's going to take the mick out of you, it doesn't matter. Honestly, if I can urge you to listen to me, if I can help any one of you not be the person I was when I was 13, because I don't want you to fear standing out. What is that? It's that saying, don't let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. And it's so true. And I know it's so silly, like using a quote, but honestly, it helps me so much now, because I'm like, do you know what? I don't actually care what anyone thinks about me that isn't someone I care about. Like, obviously my best friends, my family, my fiance, if they were to say something like, oh, Imogen, I don't think you should do that, then I'd be like, okay, I completely understand where you're coming from because you have a valid point. But most of the time, the people that are judging you are the people that want to do what you're doing. They're the people that are like, I wish I was doing YouTube, actually, because I know a lot of you message me and you say you want to do YouTube, but you don't want to do it because people in your class might take the mick out of you. Well, actually, the only reason they're taking the mick out of you is because they're jealous. They're jealous that you have the confidence to do something that they wouldn't do. And I want to say one thing to my younger self. I'm actually grateful that I had the chance to have fake confidence, because fake confidence actually got me to where I am now. Fake confidence gave me a backbone, and fake confidence made me the person I am now. And I promise you, when I mean fake confidence, was me just putting on a facade and putting on this, okay, we're going to perform. This is time now. You've got this. You're going to do it. Even though inside, I promise you, it was like this. My ballet teacher always used to say to me, you're like a graceful swan on the top. You look like you know what you're doing. You're like, yes, I am just performing. But underneath the water, underneath the surface, you're like paddling and just like, I can't do this, I need to come up for air. Like, honestly, that's how it was growing up. And now, I'm not going to sit here and say to you that I'm the most confident person in the world, but I can actually sit here and say to you 3, maybe 5 qualities about myself that I love, and I'm going to list them now. So please don't think I'm arrogant, because this is the whole, topic of this, me talking to you about this. This is me actually just genuinely being honest with you and finding 3 things that I love about myself. Before I tell you what I like about myself and what I actually love that I have, I want you to take the time now to get a pen and paper, get your phone, get your notes, and grab that and put down 1 thing that you love about yourself. Now, I know you're probably sitting there and being like, oh, I don't want to put something I love about myself. Like, I don't love anything about myself. Maybe some of you are thinking that, and that's okay. But try and try and try throughout the course of this podcast, maybe try and pinpoint 1 thing that maybe makes you different. Maybe your friends tell you have the most beautiful heart. Maybe your mum tells you that you're really kind and caring. Maybe you love your eyes. Maybe you love your legs. Maybe you love that you're good at sport. Maybe there's something that you can't really see right now, which hopefully by the end of this podcast, I can help you see. Because do you know what? I think that we focus on everyone else's good attributes. We forget our own, and we live in this life for ourselves. And I think that it's so important to be able to be at one with yourself and be happy in your skin, because you're not going to be in anyone else's skin. It's only yourself that you're going to live with for the rest of your life. So you've got to start getting used to her or him, and you've got to start getting ready to be able to compliment yourself. It's not arrogance. It's not you being like, I love myself. It's being able to say, do you know what? My name's Imogen, and I'm going to tell you 3 things that I like about myself. So let's do this. I haven't prepared this, but I'm just going to say. So I am quite funny. I actually think I'm quite funny. Like, some people watch my videos and they say that they think I'm funny, and I'm like, do you know what? When I'm editing myself, I actually think I'm hilarious. And that's not me being actually, a comedy, like a stand-up comedian where I'm really good at that. That's me just actually being like, maybe I'm funny because I'm really bad at doing things, or maybe I'm funny because I go wrong. Like, I did a Primark haul and I actually fell off the bed, and I kept that in. I actually tried to show someone, like I tried to show my subscribers, my huns, the top, and I went, oh yeah, this is the top, and I fell off the bed, and I really actually got a bruise on my leg, and I was so embarrassed, and I kept that in. And when I was editing it back, I was like, do you know what? That's what makes me funny, because I actually don't care, and I want to show people that I'm real and that everyone goes wrong, and I'm not this perfect image behind a camera, because trust me, I'm definitely not, and I know that no one thinks that, but I'm just saying. Okay, second thing, I am very loyal. That's one thing I will pride myself on. I am so loyal that when you are my best friend, you are in my life, you're my friend, you're anyone, you are my friend, my best friend, my family member. I love you. I'm loyal to you. I'll be loyal to you to the ends of the earth. That's one thing I pride myself on. And thirdly, I'm very affectionate. I'm so affectionate, maybe too affectionate, but it's fine. But I can't even say that I want to not be affectionate, because I love being affectionate. My family have always brought me up with cuddles all the time, and I know that a lot of you are probably listening like, oh, I'm not affectionate, I don't want to be affectionate, but that's okay. Like, these are just the 3 things that make me me, and these are 3 things that I like about myself. So I just wanted to tell you that, because I don't want you to think that you can't sit there and say to yourself, listen, hun, this is what you're good at, and this is what makes you you, because we have to look in a mirror every single day, and if we look at it and just look at negativity, it's going to make your life really difficult. So I really hope that at the end of this podcast, you can actually write something down about yourself that you like about yourself, and please let me know if you do. Make sure you tag us at Hello Getting Lippy With, and hello to me. Tag me in anything that you find about yourself that you love, because I'd be really grateful to think to myself that I've helped at least one of you. So, following on from that, I wanted to kind of discuss how I became the person I am now and what helped me with my self-confidence. So, it's something I really want to touch on in another podcast with another guest who I've got coming on, which I'm super excited about. So basically, for a long time during my period of being in university, I actually was admitted to hospital. I stayed in hospital for a good, solid couple of months, on off for basically a year, and it was a really, really difficult time. Now, if I'm honest, I really don't want you to all have to go through what I went through to gain confidence. So if you can take anything from this podcast, I would be so happy. It's a joke. So basically, I was in hospital for something to do with my stomach condition, which I won't go into now, because I would just talk for England about it, and I probably bored you already anyway. But basically, I was in hospital and I was staying in there for a long time, and I really did hit rock bottom with my confidence, my insecurities, everything. I was on my own, having to deal with being in my own head, not having anyone to talk to. You can only have visitors from 4 till 8, and I couldn't expect my parents to come up all the time. It was in London. They don't live in London, and they did come up as much as they could, but they have their own lives to lead as well. And I was at rock bottom. I was honestly in my own head every single day, with tubes up my nose, tubes coming out of my arms, everywhere. And really, I felt the most unattractive in hospital I've ever felt in my life. And I'm actually smiling talking about this now, because it's like so amazing that I've come out the other side, because I can actually remember that feeling, being in hospital and being like, oh my goodness. Like the thought of having a boyfriend or anything like that made me feel physically sick. I was single for 5 years, which I'll go into in another podcast, shock horror, but we'll talk about relationships and stuff like that in another podcast. But I couldn't think of anything worse than being with someone, because I thought to myself, who is going to want to be with you? Now, being in hospital, you realise that your health and your happiness is actually the only thing you have. I love my family, I love my fiance, I love my friends, but being in hospital, you're on your own. You are completely on your own. You are subjectified to all these elements around you. You can't talk to everyone because your curtains are always closed, and you are genuinely just talking to people about your health. And when your health goes, you think, my goodness, I've wasted a long time not living my life to the fullest. Because of what? Because of thinking other people are going to be judging me, thinking other people are going to be saying stuff about me. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, Imogen, you've actually lost so many years. And I did regret a little bit, but then I thought also, I'm not going to sit here and regret. I'm going to try and bring myself out of this dark hole. And actually, that was the start of my self-confidence. Honestly, hospital made me. It broke me, but at the same time, it made me. And I'm so happy and glad that my life went on that path, because I feel happy in my own skin now. Not, I don't think I'm this supermodel. I don't sit here and think that, but I'm happy with who I am. And obviously, I still have insecurities. Every single person in the world has insecurities, and that's okay. But being in hospital, it just made me realise that I need to get myself better. And on the process of getting myself better, I need to be happy in my own skin. Now, going from a person who would never have ventured out of the house without wearing big sunglasses, because I thought, oh my God, everyone's looking at me, when they weren't, I became this person where I was like, do you know what? No one can break me lower than what I'm broken to now. So I'm going to build up my confidence. And that was every single day. And confidence isn't something which happens overnight. It's something which we have to give ourselves some time. And honestly, sitting in a hospital bed, it gave me time. Trust me, it gave me time. I planned so many things for when I was out. I was like, right, the first thing I want to do, I want to go to the cinema on my own. And I remember writing a blog post about it when I had a blog, because I didn't have a YouTube at the time. And I wrote a blog and I was like, wow, I actually went to the cinema on my own, and it was scary. And I know you're probably thinking, oh, I've done that before and that's not a big thing. But for me, that was a target. And I wrote little targets I wanted to hit. And I slowly started looking at these targets and I was like, I've done them. I've done that. I've done that. And it was so strange for me to be able to say I went to dinner on my own. And you know what? It was at Nando's. And the person was like, table for one? I was like, yeah, table for one. And he actually pitied me that much. He gave me discount on my meal. I was like, wait, I've chosen to come here on my own. Like, I haven't been stood up, and not being nasty to anyone that has been stood up, because you can go for dinner on your own, even if you are stood up. Don't waste a good dinner. But I mean, as in, it was so worrying that a man actually thought that it was so horrible for a woman to be out on their own, My goodness, you're going for dinner on your own. I thought, this is me growing, and this is me learning things about myself. And I remember thinking at the time, oh God, everyone's staring at me. And then I remember thinking, who cares? Who actually cares? These people I'm never going to see again. And even if I saw them again, I'd be like, wow, it says more about someone else as a person than it does about you. If someone wants to sit there and think, oh my God, that girl, she's on her own. Like, she's actually sitting there at dinner on her own. So what? Actually, so what? And for people to actually have that in their body, to want to be nasty, to bitch about someone, to actually slag someone off or judge them for something which they've never walked in my shoes, as I've never walked in theirs. So for them to do that, honestly, the one thing that makes me feel better in every situation is think, I'm not you. If there's someone looking at you and being nasty, I'm so happy I'm not them. I'm so happy. I think, wow, I'm not judgmental like that. And I hope I never am judgmental like that. So actually, the one thing you have to do is differentiate yourself from them and think, right, you're judgy, I'm not. I'm on my own. You're judging me for being on my own. You're the reason I didn't go out for dinner on my own for so many years. But now I'm here and I'm proving to all of you that I can do it. You need to look at the people that put you down and actually see them as your motivators. Like, they're the ones that should motivate you to be a better version of yourself. Like, they're looking at you, judging you, and you should be like, actually, do you know what? Your negative energy is going to make me a positive person because I never want to end up like you. And I know that's really sad to say, but it's actually true. You've got to look at people and think, right, I am going to be happy. I'm going to find some confidence in myself. And again, it's a slow process, and hopefully throughout the course of these podcasts, I can help you, at least one of you. If I can make one of you more confident, I mean, I hope I can make more than one of you more confident, but yeah. So that leads me on to the Hun Hotline, answering the questions you sent in. Hello, honeys. You have reached Hun Hotline. Please leave your message after the tone. It is very exciting. All of my Huns can get involved. Basically, you've sent some amazing questions to the Hun Hotline, which is hello@gettinglippywith.com. That is the email address. And basically, it means that you can get involved with our topics of conversation. Each week, we're going to be announcing the topics of conversation over on Getting Lippy With on Instagram. So then you can send us in your voice notes to that following email address and you can get involved via the Hun Hotline phone. Cute! We've had some amazing messages and I'm so grateful to every single person who actually sent one in. I really am so grateful. I thought no one was going to, so I'm so grateful. It's like me answering the phone and just like having a chat with my best friend, so it's perfect. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to play the questions and I'm going to give you some answers. I mean, I'm not really like Oprah or anything like that, but hopefully we can just have a general chit chat.
Hi Imogen, my name is Twinkle and I'm from Leicester. And my question is, what does confidence feel like to you? So in other words, what sort of things do you say to yourself to feel more confident on a daily basis? And what does your body feel like when you feel confident? I just wanted to say that you've helped me become so much more confident and increase my self-esteem and overall made me a happier person, just from your personality and the things that you've said across your videos. And especially from the music that you share, such as your playlist, Boss Baby Girl. I think that's really helped to make me feel like I can conquer the world. Thank you.
Oh my God, you are such a Hun. That was so cute. Thanks so much for sending me in your question. And also, I love the fact that you love the Boss Baby Girl playlist. Honestly, my playlists on Spotify get me through life. So you asked me how confidence feels for me and how it makes my body feel, what confidence is for me. And if I'm honest, confidence is a journey. Confidence is a journey for me. And it's been something which has been, like I said, a slow process, but I feel like I'm on my journey and I feel like I'm going through it every single day. And if I'm honest, the things I say to myself every single day to help me, and don't get me wrong, there are days when we're coming on our period or we've got something on or we're feeling emotional, which is completely normal. Some days I feel rubbish and that's okay. I think that sometimes people think that we have to be bionic and we have to be robots and we have to be perfect every single day. It doesn't work like that. Bodies and emotions and things happen every day that we have to go through and face that are going to affect how we feel that day. So that's fine. But the thing that I don't do is I don't dwell on the bad days. The bad day happened and sometimes I laugh. I'm like, you couldn't even imagine it. I'm like, really? Is this actually happening to me? And I have to laugh because that's my way of coping and going, tomorrow, hopefully, will be a better day. And 9 times out of 10, tomorrow, things get better. And things will always get better. And that's what I say to myself every day. If I'm tackling with something bad or difficult, I'm like, come on. Tomorrow it's going to be better. You're going to get through this today. And that is what I have to say to myself. You have to motivate yourself. And regards to body confidence and what I say to myself to help me feel confident about myself is, like I said at the beginning, I tell myself 3 things that I love about myself at the beginning of the week. I'm like, do you know what, baby girl? You've got this. You've actually got this. And one thing I will say is, for your own things that you do, things that you accomplish and achieve, I pat myself on the back. I'm like, as if you've actually done that, Imogen. Well done. Because do you know what? We can't rely on other people to praise us for the rest of our lives. We have to praise ourselves. And with your question about how confidence makes my body feel, I'm going to be honest. When I feel confident, when I'm wearing an outfit I love, I don't have to wear makeup every single day. I don't really a lot of the time. And I like it. I feel confident enough in my own skin to do that. That was a slow process where it was constantly branching out of my, feeling how I look and looking out at other people and thinking, oh my God, they're looking at me because I'm wearing no makeup. But over time, now I'm like, love my skin without makeup. I'm like, yes. And if I'm going to be honest with you, the way my body feels, I feel sexy. I'm like, you look good today, Imogen. You feel good today. And I think that when you feel confident, you exude this confidence to everyone else. And it just shows. You shine like a little beam of light, like you're a little star. You're like, do you know what? That girl, she's happy, she's confident. And that's something which I love and it makes me happy. So being confident is something which I wanted to work on so much because I wanted to feel confident and I wanted to be that girl in the room that people are like, she's confident. Don't get me wrong. I get really nervous about loads of situations. I get really insecure about loads of different things, but my confidence journey is one that I've just loved going on and I feel so confident in so many situations. Honestly, you could put me up in a room of like 30, 100, 50, however many people, and I would feel confident enough to speak about so many different things. Honestly, it's so crazy that I have that confidence now. And I think that just before I get nervous, but that doesn't mean you're not confident because when I go out there, I'm like, I've got this. And I feel like, yes, you've got this, baby girl. So I would say one thing I definitely do is tell myself positive attributes that I have. I also look in the mirror and say to myself, I've got this for the rest of the day. And if I'm having a bad day, I will definitely tell you, just laugh. Actually laugh. Even when you want to cry it out and then laugh and be like, oh my God, this is actually happening to me. And it's going to make a wonderful story time. That's what I think. I'm like, this is going to make an amazing story to share with my audience and all of you. So yeah, thanks so much for your question.
Hi Imogen. So my question for you is, how have you gone through such difficult past experiences but come out the other side such a strong, confident and empowering woman? This inspires a lot of us and I'm sure all of us would love to know.
I promise you, I actually love you all so much. You're so wonderful. So thank you so much for sending me your question. And thank you for even understanding the things I've been through and even listening to me talk about them, because I'm so grateful I get to share and be on a platform where I get to share things I've been through. So I think it's so important because it's so easy for us to think that we live a different world to everyone else. And people might look at me and think, oh, she does YouTube and she's got this, easy life, or she might live a completely different life because they see social media. But actually, it's nice for me to be able to say to you, I've been through this and I've been through this. And trust me, I know I haven't had the worst life or anything like that. So many people have been through so many more difficult things than me. But it's nice for me to be able to say to you, hey, if you've been through this, then so have I, and we're in it together and we're all in it together. And I think the way that I look at it is I'm actually really grateful for everything I've been through. Maybe breakdown of friendships, breakdown of relationships, difficult times in my life, bullying, just everything I feel like I've been through has been for a reason, because I am so grateful for where I am now, like having all of you as friends on the internet. Like it's crazy. Honestly, I feel so grateful. And, the friendships I have now, they are solid. They are my best friends. And I know that I'll love them forever and they'll love me forever. And my partner who I'm with, I feel so grateful to have found him. And I think that everything you go through for a reason. And again, I'm going to whack in a quote there, but everything we go through, you have to grow through. And it's so true. Everything I've gone through, I've gone and learnt something about myself. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I didn't make a mistake, but maybe I went for the wrong friendship, or, maybe I attracted something wrong there because of my own insecurity that I was projecting out. And I think that everything we go through in life, we have to learn from, no matter how hard it is. I think that if you can take one positive from a negative situation, then that negative situation was worth it. And I think that it's really hard to say that for things like deaths and losses of life. I don't know if there's ever someone that can come along and go, hey, there's a positive to that, because I don't believe there is. However, things that I've gone through personally, I feel like the negative situation, if you can turn it around to a positive, then actually you've won. Like in your own head, you can think, do you know what? I might have lost that person as a friend, but actually I learned this about myself, and thank you for the breakdown of that friendship, because I have grown, I have learned, and I have lived something, and I'm now able to tell someone else and hopefully help them through that journey. And I just think that if you can take one positive from one negative situation, then it was worth it, and you can learn something. Honestly, you can learn so much about yourself from every situation we go through. So that's how I think I've remained so positive, and I think that it's helped me grow in confidence, because again, I'm sharing a lot of my life with you, and through my YouTube I share a lot of my life, and I think that sharing has actually helped as well. So I would definitely recommend talking about things, because it really does actually help your confidence grow, because you're like, someone else has been through it, and you're like, wow, I'm not the only person, it can't just be me, and I really think that helps. So yeah, definitely share as well. Thanks.
Hi Imogen, I just wondered whether you had any advice with confidence in relation to living with a chronic illness. I know you've got gastroparesis, and I just wondered if that's ever really affected your confidence, and how you've overcome that if you have, and how you found your identity in another place that isn't your illness, because that's something that I'm struggling with right now. So I'd really appreciate some advice. Love you.
Thank you so much for sending that, and thanks so much for knowing so much about me. I'm so grateful. Yeah, so as the beautiful angel just mentioned, I have a stomach condition. I have multiple stomach conditions that lead off from that. The main one is gastroparesis, but I also have ulcerative colitis and other things, which I'll talk about another day. But basically, when I first got my condition, like you say, it's probably very difficult to find my confidence, and it was definitely something which I was like, I go out of the house and something happens to me. I'm constantly being admitted to hospital. I'd be on dates and I'd go in, things would happen. I'd have to go to hospital. And so actually it was something which was, again, a process. It's something which you have to go through every option to get to the end result. And you have to go through difficulties and struggles to enable you to make you stronger. I think that it actually made me more confident, because I remember being in so many hospitals and having so many people stare at me and being like, do you know what? If someone doesn't accept me for my skin, my body, everything that I have, then I don't want to be with them. I don't want to be around them. I don't have to associate myself with them. Friend, family, relationship. And that is the sole thing that I can say to you, that the confidence I have regarding to my stomach condition, I'm confident. I'm like, I've got a stomach condition, but it doesn't define me. It's made me so many things. And actually, probably my stomach condition and being in hospital made me be confident. And I'll actually tell you something about someone that really inspires me, and that's my fiance. And I know he won't mind me speaking about this because I've already asked him, but my fiance is actually 50% deaf in both of his ears. And when we first met, before we actually properly went on our first date, we were voice noting all the time on WhatsApp. And I was like, I've got to tell this boy about my stomach condition, because imagine I'm on a date with him and he's taken me somewhere wrong, and I've eaten something wrong, or I've got to go to hospital and I need, extra meds, and he needs to call the ambulance. So I opened up to him and he opened up to me, and that was something which early on made me like, wow, this person really is open with me, and he hasn't judged me. He hasn't looked at me and gone, oh my God, she's got a stomach condition, and what if we're out and I've got to he was never like that. And if anyone was like that, then I would be run a mile, because if someone judges you for something you have, then that is awful. Having a stomach condition is something which has made me value so much, value my family, value people around me that I love, because I think, wow, I've been close to, in hospital, my health really did deteriorate. And I think that being so close to, people around you that are dying in hospital, I really thought to myself, oh my goodness, I'm so lucky to be alive. My stomach condition is nothing compared to what people fight on a daily basis. And just because people's disabilities aren't visible doesn't mean that we don't have them. A lot of people, they don't know my partner is deaf because his hearing aids are really in the ear and you can't really see them. And a lot of people judge him for the way he speaks sometimes. They'll, we had an incident the other day in a bakery where someone was quite rude to him, and he can't hear, and it's not his fault. And understandably, the other person didn't know that, so they weren't to know, and that's understandable. But what I want you to know is that confidence comes from you. You could have anything you have, any condition, anything that you have, a difficulty, something inside of you, something on the external, everyone deals with something. And you have to remember that you are you, and that is what makes you you. That's what's beautiful. Like, yeah, I have a stomach condition, but it just means I can't have gluten, wheat, dairy. I have to go to hospital for regular checkups. I've got, my stomach's special. She wanted to paralyze herself. Like, she just wanted to chill out and just relax. So she just gave up. She went, you know what, Imogen, you're too tiring. I'm going to give up. And actually, I love that I have that, because it's given me a new lease of life. I'm going to be honest with you, seeing life kind of be destroyed around me in hospital and people losing their lives, it makes you grab your life and go, do you know what? I actually have, the sky is the limit. I can do whatever I want, and my stomach condition doesn't hold me back. Yes, there's times when I have to go to hospital. Yes, there's times when I'm in public places and all of a sudden I'm passed out, I'm blue, and I'm throwing up everywhere, or something's happened. And I've had so many incidents like that. I don't really care. I'm never going to see those people again. And they have a really good story to tell their family. They have a really good story to tell their friends. And I'm like, just mention my name. My name's Imogen, like, I'm joking. But I mean, my confidence has definitely grown from having my stomach condition. And I don't mean that you have to have something wrong with you. Not that my stomach is something wrong with me, but you have to have something which is a disability, or have to have something which you have to go through, like a chronic illness, to make you confident. But that's my journey of confidence. And I want you to know that if there are any things that are on your mind, or you too have a chronic condition, or you have something which you have to deal with on a regular basis, then please don't let it define you. Don't let it rule your life, because it shouldn't. It's not your life. You are you. Live your life. And that's just on the side of it. You're like, hi, my name's Imogen. I don't have to go, hi, my name's Imogen, I have a stomach condition. I'm like, hi, my name's Imogen. And I'm quite funny and cute sometimes. Thanks so much for your question.
Hi Imogen. So for my confidence question, it actually isn't a question, ironically. It's actually something I just wanted to share with you. And that is my confidence with singing. I've always loved singing in the car and like around the house. But it wasn't until I started doing musical theatre A-level about 6 months ago that I really started to like challenge myself with it. And now I am literally just singing in front of people with so much confidence, and it just makes me so happy. I think I've reached a level of confidence with it now that 6 months ago I would have never believed I could ever reach. So yeah, I'm really proud of myself for that.
Wow, that's made me so happy. That is actually amazing. I'm so grateful you wanted to share that with me. Honestly, hearing other people's story about their confidence journey, and it's just amazing. I am so happy for you. What a lovely voice note to end on. That's amazing. Honestly, I think that is such an amazing voice note on the topic of everything we've spoken about, because really, we should be, again, like I said, absolutely telling yourself, this is where I am, this is what I've done, and this is how good I am. Because do you know what? My mum always said to me growing up, and my dad, they always said, do you know what? There is going to be so many people that are going to try and pull you down. At everything you do, don't be one of them. Be the one person that says, you can laugh at me, you can joke about me, you can try and pull me down, but I'm strong, I'm going to stand here and I'm good. And do you know what? That really did stick in my mind, because I think to myself that, like you said, that's amazing that you're now singing around everyone and you've gained this confidence. And I think that you telling us and telling everyone and actually saying to yourself, well done, congratulations to you, because that's what we should be doing. I think in this world, we look at people who compliment themselves or seem a bit confident, and we kind of think that, again, like I said earlier, that's arrogance, and that's got to be, she's big-headed or he's big-headed or something like that, when actually, in actual fact, we should be reveling in the fact that people are confident. Like, wow, that's good. If you know you're good at something, it doesn't have to be in people's faces like, by the way, I'm really good at singing. You didn't say that. You said, I'm so happy where I'm at. I'm singing around other people, and that's amazing. There's a difference between arrogance and a difference between being confident. And I think that we need to help each other. One thing I've definitely grown up doing is complimenting other people. And growing up, I really have now started to compliment myself as well as complimenting other people, because why do we give people so much love freely that we don't give ourselves? Like, I want to say to myself, do you know what, Imogen? You didn't think you could do this and you did it, and I'm really proud of you for doing that, because why not? Why not? There are so many people, like my parents said, that are going to pull you down, but you've got to stand there and go, do you know what? Pull me down, but you're not going to affect me. You have to just go, over my head. See you later. I'm so happy for you. Honestly, that makes me so happy that you're on this journey, and I just can't wait. You're going to be amazing. You're going to be major. Like, I know. And just remember us. Like, you voice noted us. Like, you told us that you were amazing at singing. We're going to see you on, like, I was going to say Top of the Pops, but oh my goodness, I'm showing my age now. Let's just ignore me. I'm going to see you on The Box, Kiss, something like that. Thank you. So that is the end of episode 1 of Getting Lippy With. I'm so sad, but I cannot wait until next week. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because it really does help us here over at Getting Lippy With. And if you could leave us a review, I'd be so grateful because honestly, it really helps us make more future podcasts just like this. And we're creating a family. So just get involved and get joining this family. So also make sure you follow Getting Lippy With on Instagram for future episodes, and for your chance to get involved, make sure you go and follow them because you'll get the email and you can send us voice notes. Also, each week we'll be announcing the podcast topic, so make sure you follow them. So until next time, I'm going to love you and I'm going to leave you. Thank you.